Chapter 1 I Want You. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. Ding, host found, initiating a connection to the host, connection established, analyzing the host's new body is not fit for growth, searching for a suitable system for the host, a new system found, merging the new system with the old, a new mutated system has been created, installing the system, dual cultivation system installed, transferring host, transfer completed. Equals 30 minutes ago. How dare you kidnap me? You demon! He yelled in anger while glaring at a glowing light as the divine form of the entity wasn't discernible to mortals. I summoned you because I need to ask you a favor. A soft melody of a feminine voice responded, trying to be as natural as possible so he wouldn't find her suspicious. Why would anyone do any favor to a criminal who kidnaps them while they were having their first night with their lover? He said in a bitter voice. His face and eyes were flickering with coldness because of what this person had done to his blissful moment. Who wouldn't be mad? Imagine if someone had kidnapped you at night and you were going to taste the ripe fruit of a maiden you love dearly and satisfy your little brother, wouldn't you be mad? Yet someone shattered this gratifying moment for the sweet couple to spend a hot night together. It was a special time in one's life when one would become closer to their soulmate on a higher level. The black-haired young boy was extremely mad at this damn demon who dared to abduct him all of a sudden by opening a magic circle in the room that caused him and his girlfriend to suck into a space rift. I can compensate you greatly if you agree to do me a favor. A melodious voice of a young girl asked politely. I refuse. He said in a stiff voice. Think carefully. Not everyone gets this chance. She tried to entice him knowing he wouldn't easily agree. I already thought carefully. I refuse to have any connections with evil people like you. He said in a chilly voice and rudely turned her proposal down for the second time. You didn't leave me a choice. The light transformed and materialized into a human form. Her blonde hair was falling down to her curvy waist. Her scarlet eyes were filled with serenity that looked like jewels. Her curvaceous twin peaks were tightly held by her black dress that was revealing her cleavage. There was a hint of mischievousness on her adorable face. Her mere sight caused the boy's heart to flutter. She had a divine level beauty, but moreover, there was something else that caused a storm to roar in his mind. He gulped saliva nervously looking at her as the black-haired boy was too astonished by beauty's sudden revelation. His face remained chilly but the coldness in his eyes melted down for a few milliseconds that couldn't get noticed by the goddess. I'm not agreeing to it even if you are otherworldly beauty. He said it out while trying to calm the chaos in his heart to not expose himself. The blonde-haired girl persuaded him a lot more times but his reply was the same and the iceberg didn't break. I refuse. Impossible. I won't agree. Never in my life. You're my mortal enemy for kidnapping me on the blissful night that was special for me and my binger. I don't expect you higher beings to understand love as you guys only know how to play with human lives and entertain yourself by watching a good show to watch. You guys sure are sadistic. I won't agree. I refuse. I refuse. I refuse. Why won't you agree? All the previous humans instantly said, yes, after a few tries and those who showed disagreement changed their minds after I revealed myself but you have to be the most stubborn of all of them. I don't understand why the divine mirror says the last earthling would have the highest chance of saving my incarnation on the blue star planet but if you dare refuse me one more time I swear I'll beat the shit out of you. The girl had enough of his refusal and fumed in anger. Although she showed her bitterness, but she only acted this way to appear as natural as possible. Goddess was scared of something. The blonde-haired girl had a great reason for feeling uncomfortable in front of this human but she was sure he had no clue about it. You can use force all you want. Even if my soul shatters into nothingness, I won't help you because you're not worth wasting my time. His words caused a thundering sound to reverberate in the girl's ears. Please. She said in a pleading voice one more time. I refuse. He said again. Drip, 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 a small trail of tears started coming out of her beautiful eyes. She sat down and wrapped her hands around her knees while hiding her face inside. The boy's heart pained seeing her cry. Although he was mad at her for kidnapping him in the middle of important business. He was only cold from the outside to her, but deep inside he was a softie. The boy couldn't let this beautiful girl shed tears because of him, as he decided to keep his grudges aside and not drag them more. Don't cry now, let me hear what favors you need. I'll decide after hearing you out. He said in a voice that was filled with a little warmth for her. Really? She asked while looking up into his eyes while wiping her tears. Tell me before I change my mind. He spoke in a calm voice. She wiped her tears and stood up. Okay, I'll explain my situation, so listen carefully. I'm the goddess of this realm, but even as a god I have to reincarnate as a human on the blue star planet to live like other creatures and pass the trials. It's a criterion made by the heavens. The higher.ups wanted me to reincarnate soon, but they told me to prepare for the trials on the blue star planet. In the upcoming future, the Shillong Temple would conspire to assassinate me in that world, so I summoned some earthlings and gave them a special power to assist me against the Shillong Temple in the future. The divine mirror prophecy informed me that 2 of the earthlings among the one I summoned would support me greatly to fight against the evils. She explained with a serious tone, but deep down the blonde-haired girl was joyous that he melted down. You didn't summon but kidnapped me. He corrected her in a bitter voice while his eyes were filled with coldness. So your task is to use this special power I'll give you in the new world to assist me against the Shillong Temple. Goddess ignored his words and completed what she wanted to say. New world. He frowned. Yeah, you will be sent to the body of Meng Long of this next world who looks similar to you. I'll grant you power that will help you grow faster than your peers. She smiled sweetly while responding to him. What about my earth and my Binger? He asked in puzzlement. When he spelled my Binger, it caused her heart to fill with sorrow. Your Binger is one of the humans who will be on this mission to support me against the Shillong Temple, and she has already been sent to that world. If you want to meet her again, you need to go there and find me, since she will also come to me. She said with a mysterious glint in her eyes while she was fabricating an evil plan that would put him in a hard spot. Don't you think if I find you first I'll be the one to kill you before the Shillong Temple? He narrowed his eyes at her and looked dead serious. I can bet my life on it that you won't ever harm me. She pouted in a cute manner and said confidently, her eyes were flickering with emotions that were dormant for many years. He stared at her coldly while crossing his arms. I'll send you back to Earth with that lover of yours if you want to leave after you finish this mission. You can either accompany me to the divine realm as my loyal subordinate or go back to your Earth. She gave him 2 options after carefully thinking and ignoring his fake threats. No thanks. He turned around and started to walk away from the blonde-haired beauty. It was an open space with many small elves of butterfly sizes dancing around colorful flowers and a fountain. The goddess' heart was in agony seeing him leave. Please help me, Yu Yen. She said in a sorrowful voice. You want me to be your subordinate after going through all that? He halted his steps and spoke without turning around. What do you want then? She raised her eyebrows, but her heart thumped in fear. He turned around with an evil smile on his face and pointed his finger toward her. What do you mean? She looked at him with questioning eyes. Goddess was hoping he meant what she was thinking. I want you. He said with a cold smile that looked as if he was mocking her. == // Snow note, it's not what you think. I would suggest reading chapter 2 to find out. Underscore 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 underscore. Please vote with Power Stones to support this book. If you want me to write more, like it. Add to the library. Edited by The White Snow. Chapter 2, A Nostalgic Kiss. You are listening at novelfull.audio. She was dumbstruck as his previous sentence had already caused havoc in her mind. After calming herself down, she said in a quiet voice, "But you're a mortal and I'm a divine level being. I'm done with your nonsense. Just send me back to Earth with my Binger." Although he said he wanted her, but his eyes showed no interest in them. "I can't send you back. The divine mirror specifically said the last earthling will be the major key in my journey," she mumbled. "Then give me what I want." He spoke about his demand. "Why do you want me?" she asked in puzzlement as she pretended to not know anything. "I'll be going to a new world to save some stranger and go through all that trouble. I don't see any benefit. If I'm going to help you with something, you also need to return the favor. A good business partner is formed on the basis of a good relationship, which is give and take. Why do you only want me to give you while you are not providing anything back? I'll only help you if you give yourself to me and be my woman instead of making me some lackey who would follow you around." He blurted out his decision, which was a flat lie. Even the goddess knew he was just joking because he already had a beautiful bonding with Binger and there was no way he could come together with her unless he goes to the next world as part of her evil plan. Her heart was in the joy that he said those words even if he didn't mean them. "I thought you'd already forgotten the past, but you didn't." She smiled with bitterness as painful memories flashed past her vision. They were both trying to hide the fact that they didn't recognize each other, but their eyes were telling how much they missed one another. She wanted to run and embrace him in both her arms, but she was ashamed of her wrongdoings to him. "Haha, how can I forget you, sweetie? Even on Earth I never wanted to see you again, but you didn't let me live in peace and kidnapped me instead." He laughed heartily, but there was sarcasm behind his voice. "You don't understand, Yu Yen," she said in a saddened voice. "Just end it already. If you want my help, then send me to the other world where my Binger is and fulfill my demand. I don't want to waste any time with you." He spoke to her in a chilly voice. "I know he cannot accept me in his heart this easily after what I have done." She wanted to know the real meaning behind his wish and asked him what bothered her most. "Is that Binger of yours gonna agree to you having me as your woman?" "I already told her about you. She wouldn't mind you being our maid." He chuckled. "So you just want me to be your maid?" Her face became red hearing his words and she clenched her fist. Although he didn't tell his Binger about his past life, but she knew that Yu Yen loved someone before they met. "Of course." He nodded shamelessly. Hearing his affirmation, the blonde-haired girl hesitated, but eventually, she remembered the grievance Yu Yen had to go through because of her in their past life. He loved her more than himself, but she couldn't be a good lover. In the end, he died for her and reincarnated on Earth. This incident shook the whole world and caused heaven to bow down its head to his unconditional pure love. Sang Shui ascended the godhood after that, but she was too ashamed to face Yu Yen again because of one mistake she had made in the past. When she heard she was allowed to summon an earthling from Earth, she hesitated to choose him and let the destiny wheel pick someone randomly. However, the divine mirror made a prophecy that the last two humans would be the ones with the highest chances of supporting her in her journey, and it turned out that the destiny wheel picked the same human who had saved her life previously. Her heart was in chaos the moment he was summoned in front of her. Sang Shui felt great joy seeing him again, but at the same time, her eyes cried because she couldn't kiss his face and hug him dearly like before. She was even jealous when he mentioned his new lover. A maiden heart was a very complicated mystery of the universe that not even a god could understand or solve. Since he demanded something in return for assisting her in the next world after what they had gone through in the past, she decided to redeem herself by giving him what he desired. At the end of the day, she was only his and always waited for him to arrive one day. She would be happy even if he wanted her as a maid. Sang Shui knew she could melt his heart if given enough time. Deep down she was hoping that he would be chosen by destiny will even though she didn't have the courage to do it by herself. Okay. I will be your maid after we are done with the mission, she said in a sweet voice while she was in joy thinking about her mischievous plan. The blonde-haired beauty stepped forward and moved closer to his face before saying, "Here, take this, we will be transported now to our respective places in our old world where our story first began." Their lips brushed past each other as the light enveloped their bodies. The sudden lip-locking took Yu Yen by surprise but he didn't resist. The soft sensation of kissing her for the first time was still fresh in his memories. Her cherry-like red lips felt feathery against his skin. The girl in front of him was his first love who he couldn't forget. Yu Yen cherished her so much that he didn't hesitate to die for her in his previous life before reincarnating to Earth. However, the black-haired boy stood there as a statue because she had wounded his heart in the past. He never imagined that she would one day summon him to ask for help. Their figure disappeared from the bright white hall. Ding, host found, initiating a connection to the host, connection established, analyzing the host's new body is not fit for growth, searching for a suitable system for the host, a new system found, merging the new system with the old, a new mutated system has been created, installing the system, Dual-Cultivation System installed, transferring host, transfer completed, god damn, it hurts. An 18-year-old boy cried out in pain inwardly and opened his eyes while grabbing his head in annoyance. A luxurious room welcomed his sight. He was currently laying down on a king-sized bed. There were beautiful magic stones on the walls to light up the room. A small vase filled with flowers was kept on the table to the side. "Are you okay, Meng Long?" A worried feminine voice sounded beside him and held his hand. He raised his eyebrows looking at the beautiful girl in front of him. Underscore 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 underscore. Please vote with Power Stones to support this book. If you want me to write more, like it. Add to the library. Edited by The White Snow. Chapter 3 Big Sister Shui Ro. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Snow Note. He will be transmigrated in the body of Meng Long, which means dreamy dragon. The name was suggested by a great person. I'll use Meng Long for him after he gets memories of his predecessor. Equals 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 equals. She was drowned in a red dress which caused her creamy white skin to be too irresistible. A wide ribbon was bound on her curvaceous waist. Her shiny midnight black hair was falling down below her knees and her tempting slender legs were hidden behind thigh-high opaque socks. Her voluptuous bosom caused her to be more seductive as the young girl was an otherworldly beauty. She had a doll-like charm when you gazed at her bewitching face. Yu Yen was dazed looking at her as she didn't seem to be from a mortal realm. The young maiden in front of him was too gorgeous. He calmed himself down as the crimson eyes, filled with worry, were staring at him. "What happened to me?" he asked with scrunched eyebrows. Yu Yen only remembered the kiss and woke up the next second here on the king-sized bed with a headache. "I received a letter that the Meng clan would send their third son to the branch family of the Meng clan since he has failed to ascend in spirit energy rank for a decade. So I have come to bring you with me to my place at the academy, but when I arrived here I found you collapsed in your room. Do you remember why you fainted?" The girl asked in a worried tone after explaining the situation she found him. He shook his head in disagreement and sat back on the bed. Let me pack up your stuff so we can leave for the Tianhai Academy, she said in a sweet manner and stood up. The black-haired girl went to open the cupboard and started storing his things. His clothes disappeared in thin air which she was keeping in her spatial ring. He knew about the spatial artifacts from his life before he reincarnated on Earth. It was a spatial device to store things that were made using space elemental magic. After the girl finished stowing the clothes, she walked back to him and took a family portrait from the wall behind his bed. In the picture frame, there was a middle-aged woman with a baby in her embrace and a small little girl beside her. The trio was sitting near a pond while smiling. When he gazed at the portrait, his head started throbbing, which made him dizzy. Ding! Old memories of the host's body found, processing the old memories, 1%, 0.5%, 0.10%. 15%, 0.22%, 0.30%. 35%, 0.44%, 0.55%. 65%, 0.80%, 0.90%. 100%. Transferring the old memories to the host, he was staring at the system panel in front of him, which had text written on them, but before he could understand anything a wave of pain overwhelmed him. Arg! He groaned in agony and gritted his teeth as he collapsed on the bed. A great deal of information flooded his brain, showing him the memories of Meng Long of this world, whose soul was slowly merging with him. The pain he was going through increased by 2 folds, which caused the girl beside him to shiver as she didn't want to see him in agony. Seeing him in a miserable state, the girl became frightened and the corner of her eyes became moist. She held his hands while ruffling his hair to comfort him. He slowly opened his eyes, but this time he recognized the person in front of him. The young maiden was adopted by his mother when she was 6 years old. His mother had adopted Shui Ro because her parents died in an awful incident. Meng Long's mother was a close friend of the girl's mother. She had no relatives who wanted to adopt her, so Meng Long's mother brought her home and gave her the love of a parent. However, Meng Long's father didn't accept her, so his mother said that when his son grows up he would marry the girl and take her as his concubine. This caused the girl's status in the clan to rise. She started getting treated fairly as she had become Meng Long's fiancée. When she turned 12, she awakened a violet-grade spirit. It became the reason for her to be invited as a student by the famous Tianhai Academy. Later, the Supreme Elder at Tianhai Academy took her as their disciple as they found she was born with an ice crystal jade body. Shui Ro left home to finish her studies. Because being a disciple of the Supreme Elder, she barely got time from her cultivation and training. Meng Long's mother got sick and passed away when he was 11. Shui Ro visited him at every vacation she got at the end of each year, as she knew he was her only family left. As time passed, Meng Long wasn't able to advance to the second stage of spirit energy rank, and clan members started giving him disdainful treatment. Other people started making fun of the Meng clan's patriarch, which caused his father to dislike the Meng Long greatly. He hid this information from his adopted sister when she came to visit him. Little Meng Long didn't want to disturb her studies. She was the only person who treated him nicely and adored him, as he had started developing feelings for her. Meng Long knew she was his future concubine. A few days ago, he was poisoned by his second brother, who was the son of the patriarch's second wife. Meng Long had just recovered his memories and looked at the girl in front of him with complicated eyes. "Are you okay, Meng Long?" She caressed his face and looked at him worriedly. "Yeah, I'm okay," he mumbled while digesting the information he had just received. "So she is not my real big sister." He was astonished to find that his dear mother had found a concubine for him even before he took over. What would I answer to Binger if she asked me why I'm with another woman? Would she accept me? And what about this girl? Although his soul is merged with me, would I be considered the Meng Long she knows? Ah! I need to find a solution to this messy problem. He complained inwardly. "Let's get ready. We will leave the clan house in an hour," she said with a gentle smile. Before he could say anything, he saw an angry expression flashing on her face. The serenity from before disappeared. I still don't understand why the Meng clan became so heartless to their child. How can they send my Meng Long to the branch family of the Meng clan? Her voice was filled with grievance because she hated the Meng clan for doing this to her beloved little brother. This girl was abandoned by her relatives when she was a child. No wonder she feels disgusted with this clan for abandoning their young master. It would be hard for her to trust anyone after what she has gone through in life. Meng Long gazed at the beauty in front of him. He had the experience of 2 lives, so this was normal for him, but the young maiden in front of him was someone who lost her parents at a very young age. Her relatives didn't agree to take her with them, so she lost her trust in human bonding. Although she was warm to Meng Long, she was known as a frozen beauty. What happened, Meng Long? She asked as she found he was looking at her in deep contemplation. Big sister Shuai-Ro, you shouldn't be bothered with this issue. It's my problem and I want to deal with it alone. He said with a stiff voice as he was determined to not be involved with her anymore. A silence drowned between them after he spoke these words. The black-haired beauty had scrunched eyebrows and stared at Meng Long as if she didn't recognize him. Did I expose myself already? He gulped his saliva nervously as he waited for her to speak. Her silence was giving him chills down his spine. Underscore 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 underscore. Please vote with Power Stones to support this book. If you want me to write more, like it. Add to the library. Edited by The White Snow. Chapter 4 Heaven's Vow Glyph. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. She could understand why he didn't want to bother her with his problems. Meng Long hid the issue from her since she joined the academy. He suffered alone all these years from their disdainful treatment without complaining and telling her about it. Shuai-Ro was just thinking about how to pursue him without being forceful. Meng Long, mother has left you in my care. If I'll not bring you with me, then who would? Do you not consider me your family? She asked with her serene voice. Big sister Shuai-Ro, it would be wrong for a young maiden to live with another man. You know we are not even blood related. You need to find a good man and marry him. Don't be bothered with my business. I'll live happily in the branch family of the Meng clan. He said heartlessly as he didn't want to give her false hope. Meng Long, have you forgotten that I'm already your concubine? She probed him with this question as he didn't leave her a choice. I haven't forgotten, but mother wanted big sister Shuai-Ro to be my concubine because she wanted you to get treated fairly in the clan house. I don't want you to be bound by something that was fixed when we were children. You shouldn't worry about such superficial things to spoil your happy future. He spoke in a nonchalant voice. But Meng Long. She was saddened by his stubbornness. Big sister Shuai-Ro, it's not good to be carried by these emotions to destroy your happy life for the kindness given by someone. Mother loved you unconditionally. Her love wasn't a business where you had to pay for her affection. His voice was cold, but he was speaking the truth. You don't understand, Meng Long. I want to bring you with me because after mother left, you are the only family I have. I don't want to lose you for marrying another man. If you don't find me worthy of being your woman, then I'll stay unmarried, but you will remain the only man this Shuai-Ro cherishes until the soul leaves my body one day. A voice filled with affection and determination sounded beside him. What should I do to change her mind? I have no choice but to tell her the truth. I cannot hurt this sweet girl. He stood up from bed and went to the study table that was situated on the right side. He grabbed a notebook and a pen. Meng Long started drawing a pattern on the paper with blue ink. 5 circles were weaved together with some lines meeting in the center. After finishing a paper, he started making another drawing with different patterns. Shuai-Ro was gazing at him with a puzzled face. Her heart was in chaos because she didn't want to be separated from him. She had grown up thinking that he would one day become her husband. Her maiden heart would never give up on him. Shuai had noticed in the past that Meng Long adored her, and she simply thought he was rejecting her now because he didn't want to be a burden when even his father abandoned him. He put down the pen and notebook after tearing apart both of the papers. He walked in front of her and spoke, "This is Heaven's vow glyph. You have to put a drop of your blood to activate it. After that, just swear that you won't reveal the secrets I'll be telling you to anyone and won't harm me." "What secrets? And how can you say I'll harm you?" Shuai looked at him with scrunched eyebrows as her face was telling she was a bit offended by his words. "Do it and I'll tell you why I cannot come with you to your place at the academy." He responded with a confident smile while pointing to the glyph. She didn't hesitate as she wanted to prove him wrong and took the paper from his hand. Her expression displayed her madness at him for thinking she would betray him or harm him. "Please think twice before doing it. I don't want big sister Shuai to be harmed. The Heaven's Vow glyph is very dangerous. If one breaks the swear, their brain would freeze. They will become like vegetables." Meng Long tried to pursue her from doing it as he didn't want this nice girl to be hurt because of his actions. His predecessor loved her and he was merged with the Meng Long soul, so it was natural for him to be worried about her. "Would you take care of me if I fell into a vegetative state someday?" Her eyes were filled with complicated emotions. "Ask me this question after knowing my secrets," he said to her with a mysterious glint in his eyes. She took out a dagger with a red hilt from the spatial ring and stabbed the sharp blade into the tip of her finger. A few droplets of crimson blood fell on the glyph, which started crawling like ants and moved on the paper to cover it. She said, "I swear to heaven I won't harm you in any way or tell anyone your secrets." As if her voice put life into the paper, it floated into the air and started transforming into red vapor, which eventually went towards her. It vanished near her creamy chest region, which was home to her alluring twin peaks. Not knowing the truth could have saved her from getting hurt. Meng Long sighed as he didn't want her to choose this method and simply give up on it. He chanted some words and the second paper in his hand turned into glimmering fireflies that flew around them and transformed into a glowing sphere that covered both of their figure inside. This caused a stillness enveloping them both as she realized the sphere blocked any sounds from traveling inside or outside. What's his secret that makes him take so many safety measures? And when did he learn to inscribe glyphs that can only be done by an expert inscription master? Her eyes were filled with puzzlement and care, as if she was worried he would say he had some life-threatening disease. She was determined she wouldn't leave him no matter what Meng Long says. He felt nervous as he knew this was going to make things complicated between him and the young maiden. Although he wasn't the Meng Long she knew, he still had his soul merged with him. For some reason, his heart ached to think she would leave him after he told her the truth. Underscore 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 underscore. Please vote with Power Stones to support this book. If you want me to write more, like it. Add to the library. Edited by The White Snow. Chapter 5 Dual-Cultivation System. You are listening at novelfull.audio. He looked into her crimson eyes that were gazing at him worriedly for an answer. Meng Long, the one you know, is no longer here. I have been transferred into his body by God's decision and merged with his soul. I'm not the person you knew once. I carry his memories, but I also have mine from my old life. Meng Long said in a serious tone and started explaining to her his story. He told her how he lived on Earth and how he was kidnapped by a goddess. Meng Long even told her about his mission to fight the Shilong Temple. So old Meng Long's soul merged with me, but he will remain dormant while this stranger will be one living as him. He tried to convince her as simply as possible, but it was still hard to understand. Shuai face played so many expressions in the span of time that was spent in listening to the story. Her face looked at first as if she thought he was joking, but the ongoing story and detailing caused Shui-Ro to start believing him. She had bitterness for him 1 second, but the next second kindness enveloped her. Her face was painted with mixed emotions which were causing her serene heart to become tangled. "So my Meng Long is still in your body?" she asked with a puzzled face. He nodded and said, "Yeah, but I'll never be the one, you know. So now you understand why you shouldn't be bothered with me. Don't waste your time with this stranger." He said their souls merged. "Doesn't that mean he is still my Meng Long?" She was deep in contemplation after hearing his story, but the chaos caused by the revelation of the secret made her feel agitated. I need to calm myself and think carefully." She clenched her fist and left the room while a storm was raging inside her. As expected, telling the truth was the best choice. He mumbled inwardly. Meng Long was all alone now, so his eyes moved toward the text on the floating screen in front of his eyes. Did I get a system as heaven's blessing to assist her? He had read about systems in web novels on Earth, but Meng Long never imagined that he would get one when he transmigrated, or better say transported, to this world. He selected Profile with a thought as if he knew this would work this way. Name: Meng Long. Age: 18. Physique: Supreme Young Body. Bloodline: Not applicable. Element: Not applicable. Spirit: Not applicable. Cultivation Art: None. Spirit Energy Rank: 1. Balance: 0. Why do I have no spirit or any elements? This is worse than I expected. What is this? He looked through his profile and his eyes widened when he noticed it. A bright smile bloomed on Meng Long's face. Supreme Young Body. It can't be. There are legends that it's a higher tier physique than the ancient young body, but it requires you to absorb yin from a woman to cultivate. He mumbled. He put his hand on his jaw and continued, "Now it makes sense why my predecessor failed to advance to the next spirit energy rank. If he cultivated, he would have overflowed with yang energy which could explode his body. This Meng clan was so blind that they didn't even care about this trove of treasure underneath their nose. What a bunch of idiots. Meng Long would have found out about his ability naturally on the first night with his wife, since Supreme Young Body would have absorbed yin energy from the woman and benefited both parties in their cultivation advancement. He felt bad for their ignorance to neglect the living treasure trove that could have been used to recruit many powerhouses. The young misses of many clans would have dived happily to marry Meng Long just because of his Supreme Young Body. Who wouldn't want to reach the peak of cultivation by just lovemaking? Let's check other options. He opened the shop window. Is this scam or real? Would I really be able to awaken a random spirit or my hidden bloodline? It wasn't this easy in my first life here. Let's try it out. He looked at the shop excitedly and proceeded to buy. Ding, insufficient balance. The task cannot be executed. I forgot about the price tag. But how can I get coins to buy? He scrolled to the first menu and checked Quest. So finishing these missions would give me coins, but where to find this hidden instance? As if the system was listening to his thoughts, a notification popped up in front of him. Does the user want to be transported to the hidden instance now? Y/N, what are my chances of survival if I go now? He asked with some hope. User will die horribly. Bringing the human named Shui-Ro along for assistance will increase your chances of success to 99%. Such an evil tongue. Can't you be a little nicer with your words? He felt annoyed when the system said he would die in a bad way if he went alone. So I need her help if I want to pass this instance successfully, but I already cut the last thread of connection between us by revealing my secrets. How would I make her help me now? Okay, never mind. Let's meet the old man first and bid him farewell. I also need to find Binger if I want to dual cultivate. I don't know where she is. As he was walking out of the room, his eyes fell on the mirror that was placed on the wall. A black-haired young boy appeared in the mirror. His white and flawless jade-like fair skin gave him a refined and gracious look. He was taller than many men he had met in his 2 lives. Under his sword-like eyebrows, the sharpness of his azure eyes, tempered by countless hardships along with his domineering and indistinct noble aura appeared as if he transmigrated with them to this body. She was right, this Meng Long looks as if he is my twin. He praised himself and left the room before closing the door. Meng Long followed the path to go to the patriarch's study hall. He didn't knock on the door and entered the room without permission. His father was busy with some work as there were piles of papers scattered on the table. What can be expected from a clan master who had many responsibilities on his old bones? Meng Chan heard the sudden footsteps coming his way and invading his privacy without permission. He narrowed his eyes when he saw his trash son enter the room without asking. Underscore 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 underscore. Please vote with Power Stones to support this book. If you want me to write more, like it. Add to the library. Edited by The White Snow. Chapter 6 Cutting Ties with Meng Clan. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Meng Chan was very unpleasant as his youngest son caused him to become the laughing stock in big gatherings. He was a man in his 40s but he appeared as if he was Meng Long's older brother. The age didn't have much effect on him because of his higher spirit energy rank. Have you come here to pursue me for not sending you to the branch family of the Meng clan? He said with an annoyed tone as he was tired of his trash son. No, I have come here to return this garbage to you. Meng Long said and threw out a ring from his finger. Clink, 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 a golden ring dropped on the ground and rolled onto the floor until it reached the middle-aged man's foot and collapsed. What's the meaning of this? The clan master's face darkened seeing his childish action. What do you mean, father? What can I mean by giving you Meng clan's ring? Meng Long said in a sarcastic tone, acting as if he was a filial son. The ring was an important symbol for the Meng clan's future heirs. Even though the patriarch was transferring him to a branch family, he wasn't planning to take away his identity. His reputation would be ruined if he exiled his youngest son because he couldn't ascend spirit energy ranks. It was normal to send clan members to the branch family to assign them to help in clan businesses, but Meng Long's action of throwing away the heir's ring wasn't acceptable. Explain yourself. His father said in annoyance and stared at his youngest son in fury. The young boy took a deep breath before yelling word by word, I, third son of Meng clan, witnessing the heaven and my mother's soul, henceforth cut off any familial bondage I have with the Meng clan. As if the patriarch was struck by thunder, his face lost color and bitterness flickered in his eyes. What the hell did you do? He said with a grave voice. Has old age damaged your ears, Meng Chan? Since your dog's son tried to poison me and you didn't even bother to punish him. You didn't even care when your youngest son was on his deathbed. Do you think I'll beg you to be part of this shit family? I'm not going to accept a damn clan like this. Meng Long announced in a bold voice, alerting everyone nearby. Some of the elders closer to the patriarch's study room rushed inside hearing the loud voice. Shui Ro was nearby, so she also followed inside hearing the domineering announcement. You bastard, how dare you to talk like that to your father? Meng Chan slammed the table with great strength and roared in anger. Ha ha ha. Do you finally remember you have a son? This young master doesn't have time to waste on shit like you. He chuckled and provoked him as coldness flickered in his azure eyes. You son of bit #H I'll kill you. Meng Chan was fuming in anger as he was insulted by his trash son. His eyes had become red from the rage and his muscles were shaking. Calm down, clan master. Some elders moved forward to hold him so he wouldn't kill his own son. The children of the clan also reached the place hearing the commotion. Seeing the young generation gazing at him with fear, the clan master tried to control his anger. He didn't want to taint his reputation by bullying a junior who was unfortunately his own son. Okay, if that's what you want. Leave without turning back. If you ever appear in front of me again, I'll cut you into 1,000 pieces. He was fuming in anger as his youngest son had crossed all his lines to provoke him. Meng Long gave them one last mocking smile and turned around to leave without stopping. Yu Yen promised to you, Meng Long, that I'll surpass all of Meng clan's geniuses so they regret not cherishing their young child. As for your second brother, I'll ignore it for now on the account that he is your father's son and Meng Chan would lose 2 of his children. But if he ever comes to find a problem with me he can only blame himself for his death. His chilly voice resounded in his thoughts as he walked away. His lone figure disappeared from sight of everyone. No one dared to follow him to see if he really left as they were afraid of infuriating the clan master. But what nobody noticed was that a black-haired beauty followed behind the rebellious young master silently. Meng Long left the periphery of the clan and kept walking towards the road leaving the city. He knew a girl was following him but he was waiting for a good place. Meng Long reached an empty spot to confront his follower. Why are you following me, big sister Shui Ro? He turned around and asked her with questioning eyes that were filled with coldness. Where will you go now? She asked while gazing in a different direction as she wanted to avoid looking into his chilly eyes. That has nothing to do with you. We have to go our separate ways. I'm not the Meng Long you knew, I don't even have any ties with the Meng clan now. He said with a stiff voice while looking at her adorable face. Meng Long, you could have lied to me but you still told me the truth. You cannot deny that his soul merged with yours so you're still my Meng Long. Even if Meng Long's little part lives inside you, that means you're still my family. Shui Ro spoke in a pleading voice as she was determined he was still the Meng Long she used to know. Her intuition told her that he still cared for her. Those eyes just had an additional layer of fierceness but they were still the same ones filled with affection for her. That doesn't make any sense. He responded to her before turning around to leave. Shui Ro gazed at his retreating view. Her heart was in chaos as she was contemplating something important that would change her life. As Meng Long had reached the city gate, her heart felt as if it was stabbed by a deadly dagger thinking she might not see him again. Suddenly, a feminine voice sounded in her mind which caused her eyes to become wide open followed by a serene smile as it solved the many knots tangled in her heart. A resolute glint flickered in her eyes and she got herself together. On the main road, an elegant beauty could be seen marching towards the city gate as her eyes were filled with confidence to conquer the person who she considered her only family. Meanwhile, why am I stuck in this situation and why was I a softie for this girl? Was it okay to hurt her feelings? Meng Long mumbled and questioned himself as his head was hurting from thinking all this. Underscore 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 underscore. Please vote with Power Stones to support this book. If you want me to write more, like it. Add to the library. Edited by The White Snow. Chapter 7 Take Me as Your Wife. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Snow note: before you hate Meng Long for being not very rude to Tsang Shui, try reading about their past that's explained in the 36th chapter. You might understand his reasons and Tsang Shui's as well. If you still can't wait to read until 36 chapters then click the spoiler below. But if you read the spoiler you will lose 95% fun of the 36th truth chapter. Spoiler equals 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 slash forward slash forward slash forward slash equals 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 slash forward slash forward slash forward slash equals 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 slash forward slash forward slash forward slash equals 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 equals. He frowned seeing the sudden notification. But how can I betray my Binger? She was by my side when I was at my lowest. He refused inwardly, but another message popped up. Host is destined to make a harem with the supreme young body. It would be better for the host to accept his fate. A system message sounded in his mind which caused him to feel bitter. He halted his footsteps a few meters away from the city gates. He murmured inwardly, "Why would you say that? Host's body cannot advance in spirit energy ranks without dual cultivation, as you have a supreme yang body now. Host needs yin from a woman to refine excessive yang in the body to transform them into spirit energy. If this yang energy does not get refined with the help of yin essence from a woman, your body will explode if you try to cultivate. But there are other sources of pure yin energy that can be used to refine the yang in my body. Also, I can just wait until I meet Binger, can't I?" He thought carefully and responded. "Ignorance is bliss. You would eventually understand that the moment you stepped on this land, your fate was sealed. You cannot fight it back. Just wait until you meet her. Shangguan Binger wouldn't accept a weakling like you." "Shangguan Binger, how does she have the same name as the one she had on Earth? I have information about all the Earthlings that were summoned. They weren't given the option to keep their memories like you. Neither did they receive a divine tier treasure to accompany them on the journey. They only know that they have a mission to protect the goddess from the Shilong temple. That girlfriend of yours doesn't remember you anymore." His face darkened upon hearing the new information. "No, it can't be." He yelled at the system in his mind. "It is as I'm saying. However, they will recover their memories after their mission in this world is done, or if some special circumstances are made. That would trigger their conscious mind to recall all the memories from their unconscious mind that are hiding deep inside. Additionally, it would be hard to find pure yin energy sources without a fortuitous encounter." He clenched his fist in annoyance after hearing the system's statement. "Damn you, Tsang Shui. I know you did it intentionally." He cursed her inwardly as there was coldness flickering on his face. "I can hear you, darling." An amusing voice sounded in his mind. "Why did you do this?" he asked her in a grave tone in his mind. "What do you think?" she asked mysteriously. "You're so evil. I don't like you," he complained in his mind. "I love you too, my husband," she said in a sweet voice, and then their conversation stopped. Meng Long knew that she did it so she could open a possible door for herself into his life. If he didn't accept any other woman than his Binger, then it would cause Tsang Shui to be separated from him, so she decided to fabricate an evil plan which would force him to walk a road to become the harem emperor. His Binger wouldn't remember him and he would fail to win her heart in this world as a weakling, so his only way was yin, yang cultivation to ascend in spirit energy ranks. If Meng Long doesn't dual cultivate with another woman, he would stay at the bottom of the food chain. This wasn't the Earth in a peaceful era where there was law and order. He was now living in a world where the rule of the jungle was the only law. If you were weak, you would be trampled upon by others. His predecessor was sent to the branch family of Meng clan for not being able to advance in strength and breakthrough to the spirit energy rank 2 or higher. Even his father abandoned him. "I don't have a choice. I don't even know where she is. To find her again, I need to get stronger." He clenched his fist as determination glinted in his azure eyes. He sighed after going through all these thoughts. "Binger would understand my reasons. Even if she gets mad at me for a while, which has a very tiny chance, I can always throw it on the great heaven for forcing this virtuous young master to walk onto a lecherous path." A mischievous smile bloomed on his usual calm face. Meng Long looked at the sky while shaking his head and making a tsk sound. As if heaven could understand his shameless act, thunder flashed in the sky without any clouds, and a roaring reverberated in the city. He heard hurried footsteps coming in his direction as Meng Long turned around. His heartbeat started thumping faster after seeing the seductive figure approaching. Her massive twin peaks that were frantically moving up and down because of her fast pace, caused destruction to his innocent mind as they were too irresistible to ignore. Seeing him turning back, Shui had already caught up to him and stood in front of his face. "You want me to marry someone, right?" she asked with a determined glint in her eyes as if she decided on something daring. The movement of her chest slowed down, that was due to the intense breathing caused by hastily chasing him this long. "Yeah," he said while scratching the side of his eyes as the question and sight from earlier made him feel awkward. "Then why can't I marry you?" Her voice sounded beside him. He almost choked on his breath when the boy heard her question. "That's because I'm not the Meng Long, you know. I'm Yu Yen," he said in a calm voice after he got himself together and looked into her beautiful crimson eyes. "Okay, then take me as your wife. I want to marry this Yu Yen whose words can lie to me but his eyes won't betray me, which are filled with pure affection for me." Her voice was filled with love as a confident smile was accompanying her cherry-like lips as she exposed his hidden emotions. "Sister Ro." He was speechless because of getting caught red-handed. Why the hell do I have my predecessor's feelings for this girl in my heart? Why did that demoness put me in such a messy situation? He cursed Song Shui inwardly, who fabricated all this evil plan to get him back in her life even if it meant to share him with other women. Equals 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 slash forward slash forward slash forward slash equals 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 equals. Snow note: Shangwan Binger is confirmed part of his harem. There is no NTR or cheating. Underscore 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 underscore. Please vote with Power Stones to support this book. If you want me to write more, like it. Add to the library. Edited by The White Snow. Chapter 8, First Partner in New Journey. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. Seeing him silent and gazing at her, she decided to approach him another way. "Even if you don't take me as your wife, grow old with me and let me be by your side as a family. We can live like when we were little. I won't ask you to marry me since you find me unworthy of you." Shui Ro spoke in a bitter voice, but an unwavering glint was flashing in her crimson eyes that were telling him she won't give up no matter what. "You don't understand that I don't want you to stay unmarried because of me." His cold voice had a hint of warmth for her as he tried to convince the black-haired beauty to not chase a lone wolf. "In this life, this Shui Ro cannot imagine being a woman of another man beside you. It's either you, my family as my little brother Meng Long, or my husband Yu Yen." Her sweet voice was filled with love for the cold guy who was rejecting the gentle maiden. Meng Long was moved by her unshakable perseverance. "Then answer my one question. What would you do if one day old Meng Long comes back? Would you pick him or me?" With this one deadly sentence, he threw a landmine at her. However, he didn't get the reaction he was expecting from the young lady. Instead of her expression becoming grave, a gentle smile blossomed on her tranquil face. "You know, I already thought about the question you asked just a moment ago when I saw your retracting back vanish slowly from my sight. Even if old Meng Long comes back, who is inside you, and I can feel that, I will still remain your woman," she said in a calm tone while her face turned red like a cherry. After hearing the confirmation from that voice, she wasn't in dilemma anymore. Shui Ro promised that mysterious voice to not tell Meng Long the truth. This was reason why she was pretending and playing along to say she would be his even if old Meng Long comes back. Meng Long was shocked when he heard her answer. His azure eyes were filled with doubts that were gazing at the ravishing beauty. She could see the suspicion flickering in his expression, which forced her to say further to shake his frozen heart. "Since you cannot believe my words, then I'll solve it for you at this moment. I, Shui Ro, swear on heaven, my ancestors, my spirit, my physique, and my spirit energy that I will only marry Yu Yen in this life." Her voice made a resounding announcement in his ears as she swore to be only his. A golden light swirled around before enveloping her curvaceous body and then vanished inside her. Meng Long gasped in awe upon hearing her resolute oath that was filled with affection for him. He rubbed his forehead and asked with an unpleasant voice, "What would I do with you? Big sister Shuero, you're so unreasonable." He looked as if he was being bullied. "Do you accept this Shuero now?" she asked quietly as her delicate heart was craving for his acceptance. "Do I have a choice?" He finally gave up and teased her with his response. "No." Her face turned beet red. "Then in this new journey, you will be my first companion, my first family, and my first woman who I'll not treat unfairly." For the first time after transmigration, a warm voice escaped from the young boy as Shuero melted his frozen heart and made a spot for herself. Hearing his sincere affirmation, a trail of tears started dropping down her doll-like face. Shuero had finally come over the complicated problem that was taking away her most precious person from her. She wasn't crying because of sadness, but it was tears of joy. Meng Long moved his hands to wipe away the droplets from her face. She stopped crying gradually as her heart became serene as he rubbed her head. "Where do you want to go?" she asked to break the silence between them. "I don't know." Meng Long replied to her with a bittersweet smile as he hadn't decided yet. "Then let's go back home," she said to him with a gentle smile on her face. "Home?" he asked in puzzlement. "Yes, our home. My place at the Tianhai Academy will be our little sweet home." She twisted the words but it made his heart feel the warmth of a family's love. "I don't have any place to go right now before I improve my strength. It's better to go with her for now." Meng Long decided to follow her and ask how he could join. "What are the requirements to join that academy? Can you give me an introduction to this place?" he asked as he thought he needed to pass some examination to enter the academy. The academy is for the geniuses of the continent. Their requirements are very high. Every year there are only 100 spots to join the academy. New students need to have their spirit energy rank at 30 before the age of 19 or fulfill one of the special conditions to directly enter the inner court of the academy. But don't worry about it because you are not going there to study. She responded and added the last line to comfort him. Shuero knew Meng Long had his spirit energy at rank 1. So she wasn't planning to bring him to join the academy as a new student as it could make him downhearted since requirements were even high for geniuses of some great clans. 30 spirit energy would take time to achieve. What are the special conditions to enter the inner court? Meng Long asked, gazing at the silly girl who was worried about not making him downcast by her words. Underscore 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 underscore. Please vote with Power Stones to support this book. If you want me to write more, like it. Add to the library. Edited by The White Snow. Chapter 9 Don't Tickle, Meng Long. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Special conditions are extremely difficult. You need to have at least one of these requirements to get invited into the inner court instead of studying as an ordinary student. An indigo or higher grade spirit, a special physique, a bloodline power or break through to the king rank before age of 30 while studying at the academy. Also, there are 9 titles for rankers. That is Trainee, 1-9, Warrior, 10-19, Elite, 20-29, Master, 30-39, Lord, 40-49, Overlord, 50-59, King, 60-69, Emperor, 70-79, Saint, 80-89, and those above the 89 spirit energy ranks are known as monarch rankers. She described the important information in a composed tone. Equals 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 slash forward slash forward slash forward slash equals 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 equals. Snow note, wuxia stories usually use 1 to 9 stages and then break through to the next one. As a reader, I find it complicated. So I thought to go with the KISS principle and use 1 to 100 for spirit energy ranks as we have in MMORPG games. Slash forward slash forward slash forward slash equals. I cannot reveal my supreme young body to the Academy. It's too risky, in my bloodline power, which is etched into my soul, is dormant in my new body. He thought inwardly as he knew many geniuses have fallen at their young ages because of people's envy. After thinking carefully, he mumbled the only option he had left, indigo spirit. Meng Long remembered he could boost his spirit tier and also awaken a new one from the system, so he murmured, but it was heard by Shui Ro, which she misunderstood. Ah, sorry, I forgot to explain these terms. A spirit is a special power we are born with, but it only awakens when we cultivate our spirit energy to rank 10 and become warrior ranker. There is another way to contract a spirit, but for that, you need to pass God's trial or receive the inheritance left behind by immortal rankers who haven't been found by anybody for many centuries. These spirits have two types, weapon and beast. They are categorized by 9 grades or tiers such as black, red, yellow, orange, green, blue, indigo, violet, and silver, where black is the weakest and silver is the strongest. Shui Ro clarified about the special powers people of this world used. They probably don't know about the golden tier spirits. I guess nobody was able to evolve their spirit after I left this world. Seeing a cold demeanor on his face, she continued with a smile, do you know, Meng Long, thousands of years ago, goddess Tsang Shui ascended to godhood after her childhood lover sacrificed himself for her god's trial. A look of admiration was flickering in her eyes as she reminisced the love story of Tsang Shui. Why are you mentioning that goddess out of nowhere? Meng Long felt bitter remembering that event, but he mumbled inwardly, but it has been only decades since I left this world. Tsang Shui took us to a very ahead timeline of this world. Probably Shilong Temple raises at this point in time. The flow of time was different for a mortal and a divine being, and they could easily control time and space. So he was surprised to find out that it had been thousands of years. Hearing his question, Shui Ro couldn't understand the real intention behind his words, so she responded to his queries innocently. Because she is one of the few people who possess the legendary silver grade spirit. Having an indigo grade spirit gives you a direct spot in the inner court. While there isn't a single person with silver grade spirit at the Tian High Academy, she told him how uncommon it was to have these high tier spirits. Then you must have a very high position at the academy since you have violet grade spirit. He said in a nonchalant voice, as the boy knew that even in his time, masters of a violet grade spirit were always famous powerhouses if they didn't die an early death like many geniuses. Meng Long remembered from his predecessor's memory that Shui Ro had received an invitation from Tianhai Academy when she awakened a violet grade spirit at the age of 12. Nah. I'm just an inner court member who has graduated from the academy. She looked bashful while saying it. I would know where I stand if I raise my spirit energy to 10 to awaken my predecessor's spirit. I can also awaken a new one or upgrade them using the system. For that, I need to farm coins and go to the instance in order to finish the given tasks. Meng Long remembered his quest as Shui Ro mentioned spirit energy ranks. I need to go to a battle instance, can you accompany me there? Meng Long requested without any shame to the girl he was leaving a while ago, and thought inwardly, she actually swore to not betray me, so I can bring her with me. When do you want to go? She asked with questioning eyes. Now. Are you ready? He said hurriedly. It was better to finish this quest as soon as possible. What if it disappeared or failed? Yes, but how are we going to a battle instance from here in the middle of the street? She was truly puzzled by his words. Meng Long looked around them. He saw people were busy with their own businesses and they were quite far away from him as the duo had almost reached the city gate. He opened the system menu and scrolled to the quest he wanted to do. A message popped up in front of his eyes. Does the user want to be transported to the hidden instance now? I want to bring her with me. He mumbled in his thoughts. Hold her hand as you will be transported to the hidden instance in 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, he grabbed her cold hand as the countdown began. She looked at him in puzzlement as he suddenly held her hand. 2-1-0, but before she could ask anything, a space rift opened and sucked them inside. He could feel that the rift had greater gravity that caused their body to be pulled inside. They went through a dark tunnel before it threw them out from another opening. His body fell to the ground, but before he could relax he saw something white falling onto him. A scent of lily flowers invaded his nostril and a soft fluffy sensation was pressed on his face. His vision was blocked, so he tried to use his hands to remove it from his body, but a meek voice came that made him stop his movement. "Don't tickle, Meng Long," Shui Ro said, and sat on his waist as her face looked coyish. It was the young maiden who fell on his body after coming out of the space rift. Snow note, can anyone suggest a better term to use for rancors? I prefer English words for this one. Plus changed unholy temple to Shilong temple. Underscore 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 underscore. Please vote with Power Stones if you want me to write more. Like it. Add to the library. Edited by The White Snow. Chapter 10 Twin Vixen Spirits. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Meng Long stared at her bewitching face as she was also gazing into his eyes. He could feel her plump buttocks on his body. Sorry. Her face became beet red and she rolled to the side hastily. They stood up from the ground and looked around to observe their new surroundings with vigilant eyes. It was in an enormous cave that wasn't dark due to the light coming from an island a mile away. The plants attached to their roots were swaying on the ground as if they were actual monsters. "That's an evil serpent plant," a surprised voice escaped the young beauty beside him. Meng Long was aware of these plant-type beasts which Shui Ro mentioned. It was a warrior-rank beast that was rarely found on the continent. Human greed knew no limits. It caused these plant-type beasts to be slaughtered in greater numbers. The reason was simple: evil serpent plants' bodies were used to concoct precious medicines. Finding a lot of these scarce beast plants in an unknown dark cave made Shui Ro exclaim in surprise. It was slithering like a common snake but couldn't go far as it was attached to the ground by the roots. The mouth of the evil serpent plant was wide open, but you could see thorn-like teeth that were waiting for its prey to come closer to devour them. However, Meng Long's attention was on the island far away which was illuminating the entire cave. The spirit of this instance must be sealed there. Before he could move towards his destination, he saw a girl walking ahead of him. A transparent white sword was in her hand which was giving a chilly aura as if it would freeze its enemy. Shui Ro walked across the spacious cave gracefully and cut the evil serpent plant's head apart from its body, which ended its life without any struggle. Instead of spurting out crimson blood, a green liquid flowed from its body. Shui Ro was going in the direction of the island while killing all the evil serpent plants in sight. Not bad, she also figured out where the real deal is. He looked around the scattered treasure and sighed inwardly, it's a pity I can't carry them with me. Does the user wants to store the evil serpent plants' bodies in the inventory? Y/N, the sudden notification brought a smile to his face and he picked Y, without a second thought. The corpse of monster plants vanished one by one into his inventory as Shui Ro killed them. He could see a new option appear on his screen as soon as the item was stored in the inventory. "Big Sister Shui Ro, we need to kill all of them?" he asked without any shame and even added, "we," while only getting carried by her in the instance. "Okay, just stay away from these monsters. I'll take care of them." Saying that, her white figure moved in the cave and she killed the evil serpent plants whenever one came into their view. "It's a pity I cannot fight until I advance my spirit energy ranks." They kept traveling towards the islet as the distance reduced and they finally reached a bridge connected to the island. The islet was surrounded by a stream of water around it. It was made up of illuminating stones that provided light in the surroundings. A stone bridge was attached to the small island which could help to cross the river. They took the bridge to trod towards the islet. It was 1 meter above the surface of the water. The running water was making a beautiful splashing sound which was pleasing to the ears as it moved below their feet. The duo crossed the stone bridge together and stepped onto the small islet. 3 pillars, made up of blue stones, were set out together with a black marble platform in the middle. There were chains attached to the pillars which shackled 2 curvaceous figures into it. Meng Long narrowed his eyes gazing at the twins who were trapped in an array made of blue pillars. The pair of beauties were wearing similar dresses with different colors which were ruby-red and cerulean blue. It was revealing their alluring body. The duo's inquisitive eyes were the same in color as their dresses. Their bosoms were well endowed, but it was half exposed, which caused them to look extremely enticing, as if they were seductress. Their shiny hair was accompanied by 2 long ears on top of their head that matched their hair colors, which were brown and white. The twins' appearance was not very identical, as both of their faces had their own vixen charms which made them look ravishing. So they are the twin, vixen spirit. He mumbled quietly and moved towards them with Shuero. Why are they trapped? Are these girls evil spirits? She was on her guard seeing the twin spirits shackled to blue pillars, even though the young maiden was confident in taking them both down easily if they were freed. Their strength was reduced by being trapped, as they would require time to fully recover to the peak. The twin vixen spirits stared at the upcoming intruders and talked to one another as they were helpless to not move away. Sister, do you think we will be freed by these humans? We couldn't break the chains or the pillars for 10,000 years with our strength. I don't think these weak humans would be able to do it either. We can only pray for a miracle. Meng Long stopped a few meters away from these girls and asked in an inquiring tone, why are you guys locked here? Aren't you being rude to intrude here without asking for our permission? Your skin is so thick that you dare even interrogate us. One of the girls, whose fierce eyes were turquoise, said coldly. This magnanimous young master with a virtuous heart wanted to release you two from your misery. But you had to slander me for no reason. Have a happy time living here. Meng Long's face was filled with coldness as he acted high and proud to deceive them. The black-haired boy was about to turn around to leave when a voice sounded, causing him to halt. Underscore 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 underscore. Please vote with Power Stones if you want me to write more. Like it. Add to the library. Edited by The White Snow.